Now, for the second keynote speech, I'd like to welcome Mr. Don Fisher, County Manager of Osceola County in Florida. He will deliver his keynote speech titled The Opportunity of NeoCity in Osceola County in Florida with Build Back Better Act. Please give a warm welcome to Mr. Don Fisher.
Hi, my name is Don Fisher, Osceola County Manager located in Florida. I regretfully can't be there in person. I so wanted to see your beautiful country. I was not able to attend because of COVID protocols, so you get this recorded message, and I look forward to seeing you at some point in the future. I'd like to tell you a little bit about Osceola County. So I'd like to describe to you a bit about where Osceola County is with regard to the United States. We are located in the state of Florida, the third most populated state in the country. The U.S. has approximately 332 million people there now. 21 million people are currently residing in the Sunshine State of Florida. You may also know us mostly, though, from Orlando. We're located in the Orlando, Kissimmee, Sanford Metropolitan Statistical Area. And you probably know us best for our theme parks. And I thought it might be a wise thing to drill down to Osceola County based on our location to the Orlando MSA, and I ask that you spend a few moments and listen to this video. It's an overview of Orlando itself.
This is the place built by dreams, by those with visions of fantastic stories and flying cars, expansive spaces, and nanotechnologies, where all entrepreneurs, big thinkers, go-getters, trendsetters, adventure seekers, and fun lovers are welcome. Whether you're here for a dream vacation or a dream job, whether you're a VR engineer, a theme park enthusiast, or a space nerd, a foodie, or a game designer, this is the place, a crossroads of cultures, accessible to all, real in the things you can do and see, and authentic in the connections it inspires. This is the place where you can live in the moment or make memories that never fade, where unicorns come in the form of startups, where you can be your true supercharged self, where whimsy and innovation are serious business. Here, anything is possible if you can imagine it. And that's what makes Orlando unbelievably real.
So it is as fantastic to live in Florida and Orlando as represented in the video. You can work all kinds of places in the world, but to be able to have access to the natural resources and the theme parks and the quality of life and the restaurants and the technology, it really does make it a special place. Interestingly, as it indicated, the population of the state is around 22 million people, with about 9 million people within a 2-hour drive that's indicated on the map that you see before you. One of the things that I'll cover in perhaps more detail later on in the presentation is that there are 1,500 people a week moving to Florida. We're the fastest growing, us and Texas are the fastest growing states in the United States. Of that 1,500 people, 1,000 are moving to the Orlando, Kissimmee, Sanford MSA. And of that 1,000, the great majority are moving to Osceola County. And again, I'll cover that in a moment. From a demographic perspective, we are a very young community. We're younger than the average age in the United States at 37 years of age, and 55% of our residents are millennials and younger. The average age for the U.S. is just above that at about 38.5 years. And I see that trend continuing as we have more families and more people moving to the Central Florida area. I think that's important from, I would hope, from a South Korean perspective in this particular conference that's been put together through SNU, in that, millennials being on the cutting edge of technology, et cetera. I think you'd find a good resource for workforce here as well. But as indicated, we're really known for entertainment. This is the home for Walt Disney World, Mickey Mouse. We have a variety of entertainment forms, from the Orlando City Soccer to Orlando Magic, including, in addition to Walt Disney World, we also have Universal Studios and SeaWorld as well. One of the things that is a misconception about Orlando and Central Florida is that we're all theme parks. We had a tagline as part of the Orlando Economic Partnership that you don't know the half of it, although we do have the world's largest theme parks, and we're one of the world's greatest destination for travelers. Just 20% of our workforce is in that line of industry, when in actuality, the great majority of employment, 80%, is through office type uses in a variety of companies that are in the Central Florida area. Lines that you might be familiar with, particularly from a technology perspective, be Blue Origin and SpaceX that are located in Siemens and Verizon and so forth. L3 Harris, Lockheed Martin. We also have Northrop Grumman here, which isn't shown on the slide, but the great majority of where we work is in these industries. We are, as it indicated, we are the most visited and destination in the United States, and access to Orlando comes from a variety of means. And in fact, from our knowledge, that we are the only airport, seaport, spaceport, and rail line in the United States. We have 45 million people moving through the Orlando International Airport, top 7 airport in the U.S. from a passenger traffic perspective. Also know that opening in September of 2022 will be the new Terminal C at the Orlando International Airport. That will be for international travel and some domestic, but really a whole new international hub that could be of interest from a direct flight from South Korea to Central Florida. Also in that station, the Terminal C has a hub line for Brightline, which is a sort of a high-speed rail line from Miami, connecting Miami to Orlando, and then Orlando to Tampa. And our commuter rail line also comes out of that station as well. There's 4 different modes of transportation that can come through Terminal C at the Orlando International Airport, and there's capacity to grow upon that. We are building a workforce of tomorrow from a technology perspective. We have extensive education from elementary STEM education to middle school to high school to universities. And from a university perspective, there are 550,000 university students within a 120-mile drive of Osceola County and soon to be talked about NeoCity. University of Florida, that I believe some that are a part of this session that we're participating in have gone to the University of Florida, as well as University of Central Florida, which is right in our back door, and a Valencia College, which is located doorsteps outside of NeoCity as well, and a variety of other schools that you see listed here. From a graduation perspective, we are within that 2-hour range. We're generating tons of university students through the system. I might say that on this slide, of particular note, that the University of Central Florida was specifically built from the ground up in the late 1960s for producing engineers for the space industry at the Space Coast, because we are located just 40 minutes from the Space Coast, where most of the U.S. rocket launches take place. So we're #1 in the state for higher education, according to U.S. News and World Report. #3 in the country for bachelor's degrees awarded, and 4,900 total annual patents since 2015 per the U.S. Patent and Trade Office come out of this region that you see in orange color shown on the slide. This is also a part of the Florida High-Tech Corridor, which is an association that you can take advantage of to help garner business and create partnerships to advance technology in this area that you see in orange and in Florida. From a population perspective, we are continuing to grow from occupational lines that you can see the rates over the past 5 years and where we rank from a US comparison. We are particularly strong in electronics and electrical engineering and software development and so forth. And you can see that listed here as well. As I'd indicated, from a business perspective, we are very business friendly. That we think that from a United States perspective, that Florida is always considered to be one of the most business friendly in the U.S. and hopefully in the world. We have no state income taxes here, and of course we have wonderful weather in all of the attractions that you can find as being part of the Orlando area. But I want to drill down deeper into Osceola County, which is the county that I represent. You can see this map shows that we're 1,500 square miles located in the heart of Florida. We have 2 cities in our population. Our population is about 425,000 residents at this particular point in time. Forbes lists us as, you can see, the young families and professionals. It's a great place to live for the Orlando area, but particularly we're an affordable place to locate, not only to live, but also to establish a business. But as I indicated earlier, that according to the U.S. Census, that since 2010, Osceola County grew by 45%, actually 46%. We are the fastest growing county in the state of Florida. And although this indicates that our population is 389,000, it's really closer to about 420,000 at this point, particularly considering our growth rate. And by 2040, we will expand, and I think this number is low, to a population of 604,000. So one of the things that we thought were important to, if you know that we're in Orlando, you know that we are heavy in tourism and we rely a lot on tourism. And one of the things that we recognized that was a detriment was that because we relied on tourism during COVID, our unemployment rate went to 31%. That was the highest, third highest in the country and the highest in the state of Florida. So we needed to do some things to address diversifying our economy. So we created this 500-acre tech campus with, it's a pad-ready site, and I'll drive into some of the details in a moment. 100,000 square foot office building. I'd like to show you this video. Again, if you just pay attention, it's going to run you through some of the components about NeoCity. Again, the site is located in the Central Florida area. We're close to Tampa, Miami, and Jacksonville. 20 minutes from the Orlando International Airport. And this is the site you see here that have been master planned to accommodate up to 13 million square feet of research and development complex. And these are the 3 buildings that exist on site, and this video will cover it. One thing that this video doesn't show is that the Center for Innovation is designed to be mirrored, to have another manufacturing plant, a clean room put right next to the Center for Innovation that you see on the screen. What's shown here is a federal opportunity zone, which allows for tax abatement for capital gains taxes, which would be of interest to someone doing business in the United States to defer capital gains taxes, which could be significant. So that's an overview, a video overview of the NeoCity campus and complex. Some of the things from a locational perspective, as you can see, it is located within 1.5 miles of Florida's Turnpike, which is basically the main thoroughfare going through Orlando, that and Interstate 4, going through Orlando for connection to this site and as well as connection to the airport. It is 60 miles from the Space Coast where the rockets are launched, and within about 2 miles of the Sun Rail line, which is a commuter rail line that runs through Central Florida, but will also connect to the Orlando International Airport. So when you fly in, you'll be able to go to OIA, hop on the Sun Rail line, and be doorsteps from NeoCity to be able to conduct your business. This is a representation of the grid layout for the site. It has been master planned, the 500-acre campus, to be drawn down in 2.5-acre lots or combinations thereof. We could accommodate anything from a 2.5-acre lot, everything up to 1 million square feet of manufacturing through consolidated parcels. There are currently 3 buildings on site. The Center for Neovation. The Center for Neovation is a 109,000 square foot clean room that has 36,000 square feet of combination of class 100 and class 1000 clean room. At least that's the level that's operating at under. And it's being operated by Skywater Technology, which has expanded its operation from Minnesota into Florida, in Osceola County, about 1.5 years ago. Also located in the building next door, the OC office building in the middle, is a Class A office facility, 100,000 square feet, that in addition to Skywater having office units there, ROK-USA is also part of NeoCity. ROK-USA, if you know ROK is a Belgium company, a not-for-profit, specializing in semiconductor manufacturing and research. They have really made Osceola County their first U.S. headquarters for R&D, and they're currently specializing in superconducting, as well as working with the space industry on a variety of topics as well. And then also on site is NeoCity Academy, a public high school with 600 students outside the door of the Center for Neovation. And these high school students are having the opportunity not only to take STEM education, but also have internships at the Center for Neovation, working with both ROK and Skywater. This rendering just depicts some of the concepts that NeoCity is going to look like when it's built out. One of those concepts is that's current location for the Center for Neovation. Those other sites that I talked about before. But in particular, I wanted to point out to you is this Performing Arts Center at NeoCity Center. The county is looking at putting $100 million in its share, and obviously it could be more, in a performing arts facility that would be a benefit to the community and to the nightlife that is to take place at NeoCity. So we're certainly looking for partnerships in that regard, and welcome South Korean interest and participation in that project. But as I'd indicated, why NeoCity? We're in an opportunity zone. We've got a skilled workforce, the connectivity that I referred to, and its great location. Really a good spot for Central Florida and Central Florida's burgeoning economy. We have a variety of incentives, just for some listed here. There's certainly more, but job creation bonus at $3,000 per qualified targeted position, ad valorem tax rebates, because the county owns the property, and actually as CEO of the county, control the permitting. So we do 5-day fast tracking of permits and a manufacturing equipment investment refund. So with regard to the permitting, if any of you might have interest in looking at NeoCity and potentially investing in it, we could fast track development forward because all the permits are in place, and we could certainly make it a smooth process. So besides property tax refund, we have very affordable lands. The county owns the property with no debt. We could certainly incentivize somebody coming in, depending on the type of project, at favorable terms. We have job creation bonus. We have staff support from Career Source Central Florida, which is our jobs training program, federally funded. And we have a variety of other utility incentive rates that we could work with you on, including Consumer Utility Authority. One of the things I didn't point out in the video is that there's a new $20 million substation on property that was built just a couple of years ago to support the microelectronics industry at NeoCity. And then a couple of things just to keep you abreast on the goings on at NeoCity and potential incentives. So there's been, through the state of Florida, a $35 million appropriation for semiconductor research and manufacturing. Governor DeSantis for Florida just awarded Osceola County a $6 million grant to build Neovation Way, which would be a road providing access not only to a population of about 85,000 people, but also close access to the Sunrail station that I referred to before. And then across the street at Valencia College, they received a $2.7 million grant from the governor's office for robotic technician training. And then here's a picture of the governor making that award to the county. That's Governor DeSantis, picture with myself, handing over that check. Now, I know that in terms of the agenda, that there's a bit of discussion about the Build Back Better Regional Challenge. And for those of you that aren't familiar, that is a $1 billion grant, competitive grant that's being offered by the state of Florida. I'm sorry, not by the state of Florida, by the federal government. And Osceola County is competing for that grant. There were 529 applications that were submitted throughout the United States and its commonwealths, and Osceola was one of 60 that were shortlisted phase 2. And then the phase 2, well, we're currently competing for up to $100 million. And Osceola was just last week. We participated in Washington, D.C. We met with the Secretary for the Department of Commerce for the United States, and went through a variety of opportunities with philanthropic investors and investors in the technology industry as well. We will know whether we're awarded that grant within the next 30 to 45 days. There may not be opportunities, I think, for South Korean partnership and other coalition partners in what we're trying to get done. There are 7 projects that are being proposed. The main line or the main interest in what we're trying to facilitate is the advanced packaging. Advanced packaging is taking the semiconductors and microelectronics and putting them together, really either eliminating or reducing the need for a green board by connecting the semiconductors together. So we have 7 projects as part of what's being facilitated. One of those projects would be expansion of the Center for Neovation. So a lot of the clean room space there has not been fitted yet with the piping for the gases, the tools, the gases to provide for the tools. So we're seeking $36 million as part of the grant for that. Next, as I mentioned before, is the Neovation Way Road that would connect to the south side of the site, getting access to 85,000 potential population and access to the Sunrail station. From an advanced packaging perspective, Bridge, which is one of our coalition partners, would be purchasing tools. Those tools would facilitate an advanced packaging line from start to finish, which would be very important. That's about a $16 million component. UCF is leading the digital twin effort. Digital twin would be purchasing the modeling and simulation equipment to really real time the semiconductor manufacturing process so that we can become more effective and efficient and try to work out any bugs that we might have as the technology is being developed and perfecting the advanced packaging. Upskilling the workforce is an important part to get the right line of future workers in this industry. The cluster management organization would be run by Osceola County just to be sure that we are managing the contract from the Department of Defense in a proper way, which in total is about $74 million. And then governance and outreach, which is, again, managing the entire process and outreaching to industry partners in the local community in terms of what we're trying to accomplish in the spectrum of semiconductor manufacturing. We have a variety of coalition partners, everyone from Skywater Technology to IMEC, Siemens, Draper, SUS Microtech, Rockley Photonics, Samyang, and SNU. And again, we'll know whether we receive that award within the next 30 to 45 days. I did want to share something new because it would be more from the ground up for the people that are part of this session and others that you may know. We were in Washington, D.C. last week, as it indicated, with the Department of Commerce going over the Build Back Better Regional Challenge. And while we were there, one of the leads for the National Science Foundation made us aware of our project and really encouraged us to apply for the Regional Innovation Engines Program and felt that we would qualify that and be really good candidates. They're going to provide up to $160 million of funding over a 10-year period. And they've asked for us to submit applications, but those are due June 30th. So we're working on that now, and hopefully we'll get that award. But if there's interest in how we could partner with you, we sure would like to hear it. I think one of the ways, certainly if it's not the NSF application, but in the Build Back Better Regional Challenge, it would be to take advantage of the improvements that are going to be made at the Center for Innovation around the spectrum of advanced packaging and furthering things forward in that line as well. But finally, as it indicated, we only have 3 buildings in a 500-acre campus. The rest of the site is pad ready with roads, water, sewer, power, all the utilities that you would need, and it's all permitted to move a project forward. So if there's interest to build infrastructure in the United States, in Florida, in the Central Florida area, we would welcome you to come. Really thank you for this opportunity to present to you. We think it would be great if you'd be part of Osceola County. We look forward to the opportunity to work with you at NeoCity so that you can be first to what's next.
Please give a big round of applause to Mr. Don Fisher.